Marvel versus Capcom.
Oh, yeah. Um, and hang on. And we're live. Hey everyone, what's up? We're streaming late today, and it's probably not gonna be that long. That's Taylor, I'm Blue Jack, and I'm drinking water.
I'm Taylor, he's Lou Jack, he's drinking water, I'm drinking, I think it's, look at a Coke Zero or something.
Ew.
It's some kind of diet beverage.
Oh, diet shit is garbage. Tastes
What?
gross. Garbage
What?
diet soda tastes gross.
Yeah, but like, I don't do well with high amounts of sugar though.
Just don't drink soda.
Nah, I like soda.
Ah man, she is gorgeous. I think Maya might be like one of the most gorgeous characters in this game.
I mean, a lot of the characters we've seen so far are what's the word? Just just very wild designs. So it's not too much. I mean, as far as the gals go, I mean, it's hard to think of the other gal characters without being like, ah yes, there was like the assistant to a murder and a gal who is now dead. Like, it's kind of a short list.
Yeah, there'll be more later. But
I mean, okay, so like the security lady I wouldn't get along with, and Penny's okay. I don't know anything about Penny.
would anybody get along with the security lady? I think
Yeah,
she's just
but
one
I
of
feel
those
like
unlikable people. Like,
no, I think she would need someone her speed, you know, like both her speed, her intensity, and like around her age. That's the thing.
she kind of, I don't know why, but for some reason she makes me think of like one of our TAs from high school. She was the super old blonde one.
Oh yeah,
With the
yeah, I
really
think I
short
remember
hair.
her.
I mean,
So
I know
that
what her
wasn't-
name is, but I don't know if I want to name drop her.
Nah, no name dropping here. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna name names, but Mr. Gorbangelo.
I don't want
with a last name, and that sounds like the most fake last name.
Mr. Alan Smithy. I don't want to
Mr.
name.
Alan Smith.
I don't want to name drop anyone here, so we'll just say Delta Airlines. Have you seen that John Mulaney bit where he's talking about Delta Airlines?
Oh yeah, I don't wanna name names. It rhymes with Delta Air.
We'll just call it Delta Airlines. And I'm like, can I go home now? And they're like, no, in fact, we're framing you for murder and you're gonna go to jail for 30 years. And I'm like, why are you doing this to me? And they're like, cause we're Delta Airlines and life is a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
I've never flown. Well, that's a lie. I flew when I was like a kid, but I don't remember it. Can I talk about Devil May Cry for a minute?
Okay, but only after you hit one of those buttons.
Stop.
I wanna say at least a thing.
Okay. What to do? So what's the best so what's the best thing to do from here?
Step 1, get me a robe in my size. Or in a ghost robe in my size.
Read it!
Get to the studio with the boy. Right, the boy. The boy. That's what I call one of my dogs.
The boy.
When he hops into my room, I'm like, the boy. It's the boy. That's also what I call your dog when I'm at your.
Yeah, I know.
It's the boy, the boo,
boy.
the little gentleman.
Oh shit, what up?
Yeah. That's one of my other favorite names to call a little dog is the little gentleman.
The little gentleman. So, do you have any ideas about who might have done this?
We don't have enough information to make a case yet. Well, it's been a while since I did Mia's voice, so it's just kind of up in the
It's
air.
just kind of where have I heard that phrase before? So that's where Maya got it from. Okay, so I guess we need to go back to the studio then? Wait, we need to get back to
Maybe
the
we
studio
can,
and talk to the book.
maybe we can convince him with the power of a ghost.
Or a
Not a
duel.
ghost, a spirit.
Oh,
You know,
Jesus, again, why do you have to show up with no eyes, angrily huffing and
have you
puffing
seen
all
my
the
have you
time?
seen my contacts? I dropped them. They have little eyes on them. I naturally have no eyes
Oh
or
man,
no pupils.
one thing that always bugs me about like cartoon characters with glasses and like in shows like Arthur or Family Guy is how
Oh
they
yeah,
have
when they
like
take the
no
glasses off, they
eyes.
just have like
They just have
dots.
like dots for eyes. It's like,
It's kind of terrifying.
where are your eyes? You require glasses because it's the only way for you to look normal.
Yeah, I
It's
guess.
more, I guess, a cosmetic thing than anything else.
Yeah, now I got contacts that make my eyes look like eyes.
October 18th, Global Studios main gate. Half, pop. Oh, you gotta read this. What's wrong?
Woo!
Did you just?
I just I chased down your car and then you drove back here. It's like that scene from Terminator too.
Welp. Oh, she's huffing and puffing and calling you a
You said
whippersnapper.
what's wrong and I'm like, what? Whippersnapper.
Oh, okay. She's been chasing that boy this whole time.
Just cue the Benny Hill theme. Alright, catch him. Alright.
I'm thinking of like yakety sax.
Well, yeah, which is funny because it's funny because I said Benny Hill theme, but like the Benny Hill theme is literally just yakety sax. So technically, I should have just said the yakety sax.
What's Billy Hill or whatever you said?
Benny Hill was
Benny
I
Hill.
think a British comedian like show thing, and his intro music was yakety sax, and so a lot of people don't know that it's called that, and they just call it Benny Hill theme.
Eh.
Yeah, but yeah, it's exactly that.
Which I think is copyrighted.
I think I'll look that up real quick.
Cause like there have been multiple moments in the Game Grumps studios where one of them will be like, "Oh, dude, we should put yakety sax in for this part," and the other one's like, "Oh, no, we can't. It's copyrighted."
Mm-hmm. Well, I could check because it is such an old theme. I mean, let's see, it was released in 1963. Let's see here. Let's see. Jointly composed by James Rich and Boots Randolph. Or James Rich and Randy Randolph. Is Yakety Sax public domain? Oh, there's someone asking this question on. Let's see. See here. The answer is no. No one seems to know.
Damn it.
That's the funny thing is that you think it would be public domain, but apparently it's let's see here.
It was I'm pretty sure it was copyrighted last I
If
heard.
no one remembers, if no one can tell me what it's copyrighted by, then how is it copyrighted?
I don't know, but Old
It's
Bad
been
looks.
lost to time. But
I
yeah,
don't know.
if anything, it should be public domain because it's from the 1960s and yeah.
I don't know, but Old Bad looks like a really creepy puppet with her mouth opening and closing like that.
Yeah, and her shoulders like moving on wires.
Yeah, read.
I got a hostage now, whippersnapper. I got his hat.
A hostage?
His samurai hair hat.
Got a samurai hair. Hey, so real quick, I wanted to say something about Devil May Cry. I'm back and forthing between Devil May Cry and Days Gone, and they're both really good.
In different ways, I imagine.
In different ways, yeah. It's funny, one thing that I thought about, well, with Days Gone, one thing that I thought about just today when I had gotten back to my camp, I was super low on gas, and I was like, oh god, please tell me there's like a gas tank at my actual home base, because I don't want to go pay for gas at Copeland's, or drive all the way to the fuel station. I couldn't even make it there. I don't have the gas, because I did a fast travel to my site, and I was like, oh fuck. And yeah, happens, yeah, there is a gas tank there. And I was like, oh my god, that would have been like the easiest way to completely ruin this game for me.
Also, there's places that reliably always have gas. Usually the Nero checkpoints have a gas can lying around.
Yeah, that's another thing I've learned. Also, I've learned that a good way to preserve fuel is if you're like going a long distance, just don't use the engine button if you're like going down hills, because you can go down them pretty quickly if you just turn the engine off.
Yep.
So I've been doing that. But yeah, that's very good. But Devil May Cry, I played 3 of the first 3 games back when I had like just gotten out of high school, when I had had a PS3, right? And so I got this. I had never played the 4th one, and I'd never played the 5th one, and I never played that DMC one with that atrocious fuckboy redesign. Like what? I think I might actually stream that one just for shits and giggles. But like, yeah. So I decided that I was gonna binge on them from the beginning, and I'm kind of back and forthing between those 2 games and Assassin's Creed Origins. So when I booted up Devil May Cry 1, I was like, "Hello, Capcom, my old friend." And yeah, I forgot how like just so Japanese anime this game is. Like, here's how this game...
little anime.
Here's how this game starts, right? This girl, so Dante, he owns a shop which is called Devil May Cry. He sells weapons and shit. And this game opens with some biker chick lady named Trish breaking into his store on a bike. And I don't mean she like rides bikes over to her store and then like picks the lock or whatever. No, she like pops a wheelie to a perpendicular angle and like destroys the wall with the wheels and goes in. And then she attacks you with a lightning barrel. And Dante's reaction to her breaking in through the wall like that.
And Dante's reaction is, "Hey, Boozer, we gotta take out this Ripper camp. I'll be right back."
But yeah, no. My favorite part about this is Dante's reaction to it is just, whoa, 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 chill out, babe. What's your deal? Do you need to use the restroom? It's in the back if you need it. Like, oh, okay, this is just completely normal for you. You're just gonna offer her the use of your facilities. Like, this is just an everyday thing. It's very much a way for the game to establish, like, hey, this is how batshit crazy this topsy-turvy world is. Are you here for it?
Do you think that Devil May Cry would cross over well with, like, OKKO, because it's just, like, a land of intensity?
I think it would cross over with any kind of good vampire game. Because, like, when you start the game out, you're in a castle,
I'm thinking that there could be some bloodlines involved.
Vampire bloodlines?
Look, I'm not saying it was vampire bloodlines, it's just like the aliens guy, but it could be.
But yeah, I've never even played Vampire Bloodlines, but like, you're in a castle and it is very vampire-y like.
The funny thing, we brought that up last time. When we were like, but there's a castle, and I was like, you're thinking Castlevania vampire. I'm talking about Vampire Bloodlines is like modern vampires, where there's basically 2 main kinds of vampire. There's like a vampire that basically lives in a fancy office building tower thing, and all the other vampires who like live in like cheap apartments for some reason.
Nice.
And I say for some reason because like, you think you'd use your vampire powers for like some heists or something. I don't know.
So it's kind of like Fabletown. Some people
Some people
live in crappy apartments, and some people live like Beauty and the Beast.
And the biggest question between that and Fabletown is how are there no vampires in Fabletown? There should have been.
There are werewolves within the Fables universe.
Yeah, exactly.
Like mundane werewolves that exist in our world. So that's a thing.
In the Fable thingy.
Yeah. They're not even fables. They're just werewolves.
Wow. Just a regular werewolf right here in the woods.
Just right here in the woods. It was in some sort of standalone graphic novel.
Now that is really, that's like such a weird disconnect there.
Dude, I would love it if I always bring this up when I'm talking about like Fabletown, but like Vertigo being owned by DC, how just hilarious would it be for Fables to exist like within the main DC universe? Like how funny would it be if they'd been there for like hundreds of years and then like the Justice Society formed and they were like, well, you know, we could just pass ourselves off as like weird superhuman people now.
It's just like, Spider-Man, are you a mutant? No, I got my powers from Spider Thing. And Cyclops, what about you? I was bitten by a one-eyed man. There you go, problem solved.
Juggernaut, what's your deal? Well, I get my power from some weird deity.
Yeah, Juggernaut was never a mutant. That's like, the wildest thing.
Even?
What?
What the fuck even?
Yeah, he got his powers from the Crimson Gem of Sidorak. It's like a deity power. It's like not mutant at all.
Like, imagine explaining that to the public. They're like all of it. Like, just picture for a minute that like Professor X and the Brotherhood and like all the mutants are allies now, and they have a society. It's some like, you know, Dawn of X stuff, or not, Power of X and House of X. You know, where like they're all exist as mutants, just as a society, and they're like addressing the public, and Juggernaut's there, and they're like doing some kind of conference with like non-mutant superheroes, like Spider-Man's there, and there's just a whole bunch of people there, and they're all doing like a social gathering thing, and someone asks about Juggernaut being a mutant, and he's like, oh no, I actually get my power from like some kind of stone.
Yeah, like it's not even like a genetic thing. It's like I basically had to like wrestle a god to get this power, and it's like, oh wait, so anyone with a gem can have the power? Well, you kind of gotta fight for it, but
Colossus had it for a while, and that was like on top of his crazy, super strong metal powers. That was some crazy shit.
That would have been real wild.
Well, it happened. It did happen, and it was wild.
But yeah, it was just like, oh yeah, you gotta like, I guess you gotta wrestle for it, or something like that.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, you know what's super weird in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? They wanted to name the weird body handcuff thing that Doctor Strange throws at what's his name. The unofficial the title that was on the wiki was the Bands of Sidorak, and I was like, but that's not what the Bands of Sidorak do. But then like in later in like Infinity War, Doctor Strange does a spell that's basically a bunch of binding red bands, and they refer to that as the Bands of Sidorak. And I'm like, you got it right on the second try, but why did you call them the handcuff things the Bands of Sidorak? It has nothing to do with it. Just call it the I don't know, the man cuffs or something.
Handcuffs.
Man cuffs. It's like a handcuff, but for the whole man's.
What happened to the boy?
You remind me of the boy. You're not gonna ask? If I see him again, I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll send him an eviction notice.
And I'll
lay him flat.
Wait, what were you referencing when you were like...
Oh, that's from Shrek. He hoofed and he poofed and he...
No, before that, when you were like, you remind me of the boy, were you referencing the Labyrinth song?
Yeah.
Because you were like, you're not gonna ask, and I was like, no.
Yeah, I was hoping you were gonna ask.
Like, I know what that is. You
So
think
you
I ain't
kind
seen
of
Labyrinth?
remind me of the boy.
You think I ain't seen Labyrinth? Dude, I've seen Labyrinth multiple times.
Then why aren't you? Why aren't you asking? You gotta
I was
ask. Ask me, Jimmy.
Ask me, Timmy.
On
What
with
boy?
me, Jimmy. The boy with the power.
What power?
The power of the voodoo.
Voodoo?
You do.
You what?
Remind me of the boy.
You remind me of the booze.
You, remind me of the boozer.
You remind me of the boozer. Boozer, we gotta clear out this Ripper camp. How's your arm, Boozer? Is it still burnt to shit? Could get some lavender for your arm, Boozer.
Oh yeah, you know, only Days Gone could take like a mission like go get 5 lavender chunks and like make it interesting where like it's like you've got a whole like dialogue bit there and you're learning a lot of neat stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of character building.
Yeah, because
like,
without character work, things are really flat. Where it's like, hey, can you get me a 30 bare butt cheeks? And it's like, but why?
One of my favorite little bits of the game is when the Radio Free Oregon broadcasts come on, and Deacon just proceeds to yell at them.
Oh yeah, he like. And what's weird is that like
angrily yells with them.
What is it? Copeland, I think, is the one sending. Yeah.
Yeah, Marcus.
And like Copeland is so like weird and like what's the word? He's
weirdly religious.
Well, as in like he's like spot on at some things and then just completely wrong at others. Where he's like, what if the zombie thing was poorly handled by the U.S. military? And I'm like, well, yeah, that seems to be the case. And no one was ready for it. Yeah. And what if it was caused deliberately? Not so sure about that. And there's just so much chaos that you wouldn't be able to. It's not like you'd monetize it. You could try to fix it after the word, but yeah. By the way, it's really no like the. I should have seen the foreshadowing when the medical crew.
What? I don't. What? Foreshadow from what? I'm not super far into it. I only just got done with the lavender mission.
Okay. Well, let me put it this way. It's really dumb that the medical the like emergency response team is called Nero, named after the Steezer that like played the fiddle as his empire was burning.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, oh, they had that from the very start, and I was like, oh, and then I was like, oh, it's symbolism. I get it.
So something's gonna burn down now. Great.
Well, I mean, it's basically like the world's burning down, and even if they're trying their best to not do much.
Speaking of worlds burning down and like world-ending stuff, God, I gotta play Death Stranding. I have it. I'm bouncing between 3 different games right now, and I don't have room on my plate for any more.
Yeah, I'm playing too many games. Well, sort of. Like I used to be like, I'm gonna run out of games to play, and now I have a whole bunch of games, and I'm like, I'm gonna run out of brain juice because my brain is sad all the time. I just don't got that good brain feel. If my brain was fully working, I wouldn't really need as many video games. Just read a book or something.
Just read a book.
I don't know. Yeah, just read a book right here on my shelf.
Right here on my
great
shelf.
librarians and liver gobs.
Anyway, that's all bag.
Lay 'em flat. Okay, I already read that one.
Oh. Well, hi, Mia. Oh, I forgot that you're still here.
I just got new poses. My, what a violent old lady.
Yeah, she's pretty awful. Actually, I met with the director just now, and he was super gross.
Ha! My heart. I feel sick.
Is she okay?
Is you okay? Before I go, I'd like to visit the place where Hammer died.
Right.
Wait, before, like, leave for the day, or are you just dying right now? I'm
I don't
very
know.
worried.
I don't know, but that's right. She said she wanted to go to Studio One. What's this about a hostage?
Do you want to read the lines, I guess?
No. No, you go
When
ahead.
that boy was running away. He dropped this and ran. I'll come back for this one.
It's kind of hard to understand her with all the huffing and puffing.
I can't understand your accent. It's a commemorative statuette.
Read the Mia things.
It's good. Oh, I missed it. No. Just no.
Just well.
What's that you got, Phoenix? A knife! Now! I'm catching that brat if it's the last thing I do! Phoenix, do you have anything you might trade with her?
A trade.
Can I offer you an egg in this trying time?
You
got any glass shards?
I want some glass shards.
I need the glass shards and then that pink rubber ball from Silent Hill. You thought you'd never use it, but you would in a completely different game.
Maybe the card key?
No, that's not it. The card? No, I don't know.
I'm gonna try the card key. Hey! Oh, that's you.
And I say... Hey, that's a card. Studio One.
Yeah, a card key for Studio One.
I could visit poor Hammer. I'd like to visit. He died. Woo. I was his fan.
You don't have your own card key, Ms. Oldbag?
Yeah, how'd she get around the place?
She doesn't.
Studio One isn't my turf. You let me borrow it then?
I mean, I feel like the plot won't progress unless I do, so.
Well, on top of that, I think we don't need. I think we've done all the things that we can in Studio One, and on top of that, this is sort of closed the book on her because there's no way she could have gotten into Studio One.
I don't know, man. I still think she might be the
Anyway.
killer. She's just crazy enough to do it. Have you seen how her eyes disappear? That ain't normal.
You keep saying that, but remember, like she didn't fit into the outfit, and two, even though she had the time and opportunity to be there, she actually didn't have the card key necessary.
Okay, but how do you explain the disappearing eyes?
It's eye condition.
It's not normal. I don't know. Her and Salmonella, I think, are the two most suspicious.
Does she
people.
not have a right to disappear her pupils as wanted? Is this not a free country?
In this country? In this economy?
Pupils in this economy? I don't think so.
Nah, man. Under the stupid card key, I guess. Don't
say
look at me
hello
like that,
to
Mia.
Mr. Angry Eye. He just puts on the white eyes. Phoenix.
You're lying.
Why don't you let her borrow? Oh, sorry. Why don't you let her borrow it, Phoenix? It's so weird. I was used to
Guess it can't hurt.
reading for Maya and Mia.
Yeah.
Card key lent this old big.
I gave this old bag a card key, and now she's got eyes again. You're lying.
Yay! I have finally recovered from Youngblood's disease. I told you about that, right?
Yeah.
I don't like having deaths to no whippersnappers. You take this and we're even. Deal?
What's this? A Steel Samurai trading card?
Ah, that's the collateral she had. That sneaky kid dropped it. Figure it's pretty important to him, though.
Thank you. I may have a use for this. This might be the hostage he was talking about. Steel Samurai card added to the court record.
Right, I'm off.
There she goes, hobbling off toward the studio. Good night, love you. Sleep well. I was talking to my sister. So I guess we gotta go down to the employee area now, or where was Cody? Was he at? He was at Studio One, wasn't he?
Hmm?
Cody was in Studio One, wasn't he?
What, the kid? No, he's in Studio 2.
Studio 2?
Yeah, the one on the left.
I thought that was where the French lady was.
That's where he originally snuck in, I thought.
No, I'm pretty sure it was Studio One.
Well, I don't know then. Because I'm pretty sure that's how he infiltrated. Was on the left of Studio 2, but...
Man,
I don't know.
but we're gonna find out.
You do the thing.
You do things. Fucking. Let's go to the employee area.
That's the producer around 2 o'clock, and the tree is down. Why can't I climb this?
Why can't I? Oh, dude, have we? Oh yeah, that was I streamed that, didn't I? That was Firewatch.
I don't. Yeah, do we have those on video, or was it like
yeah,
stream only?
it's on my laptop somewhere. I saved all of those. Yeah, when there was that weird bit of land that I should have been able to climb but couldn't. Taylor,
Yeah, he's playing Firewatch, and he's like, "Hold on, how can I not climb this thing that's like at hip level?"
Yeah, and then Taylor like drew a picture of that.
Yeah, it's just why can't I climb this?
He was talking into the radio and stuff, and he was just angrily looking at the ground. Why can't I climb this?
I mean, I can climb. I mean, clearly, I'm like I'm able-bodied. I'm capable of climbing the stairs all the way up the tower and the mountains and stuff.
Like I'm no parkourist by any means, but I can at least do rock climbing. Like what the fuck?
I can roll over this wall. If I just fall forward, I could probably just tumble off of it.
Just October 18th, October 18th, Global Studios Employee Area.
Perfect. You got it in one.
Oh, jeez. Hey, you. Oh, I couldn't read it. Mia's doing ellipses.
What? Mia, ellipses. Phoenix. Is that the boy?
Peanuts? Yeah, his name is Cody Hackins. Mr.
Cody Hackins.
Cody Hackins. That's a really cool name.
Attorney at law. I think he ran into the dressing room.
Yeah, let's go to there. Is he harassing Salmonella? Is he beating the shit out of Salmonella? Can someone please beat the shit out of Salmonella?
With his wooden sword? He bopping him?
That weird pedo bear dude.
Wait, why did we get another green text for the date?
Man, I don't know. Because we went into another room.
Yeah, but as in, normally it only shows that every once in a while.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's because we're playing it again. I don't know. October 18th, Global Studios dressing room. He's sure to be in here somewhere.
Under the table.
Damn it, he's getting away.
3 seconds. There you go. Swoosh. He's using his ninja techniques. He's actually still in the room. He's just got a flag that he's painted to look like the wall.
You did not read
Classic
your Mia
ninja
lines.
technique. Sorry. Mia was lost in thought thinking about that ninja technique where you get a big piece of cloth and then paint it to look like a wall. Which, by the way, I was watching Pokemon Sun and Moon, and they actually did a gag where this guy is they go to a town, Malie City, which instead of being like a Lola style, it's all Kanto style, so it just looks like it's very Japanese. And there's this guy who's like the tour guide, and he's basically just Naruto. Like, he even has a headband, except it has like a flower design on it. And in the subtitled version, yeah, in the subtitled version, he even says "believe it." Yeah.
Oh no.
In the dub, he doesn't, but like he's even more like translated into Naruto in the subtitle. But like, what's amazing is that like he actually shows up by doing that like episode 1 gag where like he's painted a big cloth to look like a wall, and then he jumps out from behind it.
Nice.
I like that. I just love that ninja technique because it's just like the lowest tech version where like it makes sense in cartoons.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Naruto is such a good anime.
That specifically, that gave me like a very specific feel. Hey there, would you mind helping us out?
Oh yeah, I was doing Cody. I forgot.
Please. Por favor.
I'm
Por
cool.
favor. Por favor. Por favor. Hello, Cody. I'm Mia Fey, attorney at law.
Yeah!
Nice to meet you.
And I'm Phoenix Wright. Who asked?
Did you hear that?
What?
Oh, I heard like a PlayStation bang, but I wasn't sure if it was on your end or mine.
No, I think that was just in the game. Or I don't know, I thought that was in the game.
Go to check my end. Phoenix, you can take it from here.
I'm not so sure I'm qualified. Talk. Steel Samurai. The Steel Samurai is so cool. I think he's the bomb. Ha! What would the lamer like you know about the Steel Samurai? Hey, watch that attitude.
I know that the hair back there was used in Samurai mixtape.
I know that the pants
Makes
don't
you
fucking
rude.
fit, so you must fucking acquit.
You really shouldn't yell like that. He's the one time you're not yelling at a random NPC. Because you yell at like everyone. Like if this kid had like solid white eyes, then we'd be freaking out, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, dude, come on, like there are lines you just don't cross. You have to at least have eyes and not be some sweaty pedo dude. Like it's not very difficult.
Also, you would at least do a mild gasp if you see a mouth that looks like an egg.
Yeah.
Can I offer you an egg expression in this trying time?
Must get egg for Bart.
I do get egg for Bart.
I
needed to get eggs for Maya.
Get eggs for Maya. Oh my god. Unless of
Phoenix.
course.
I am your character arc. Oh, that could have hurt my voice box.
You tried to do the candy czar?
No, I was trying to do the Marge voice, where it's like Homer, Homer.
You must get egg for the Bart.
For some reason, they roll that R real hard for like no reason, and it's just amazing.
Oh man, I wish we had R rolling sounds in our language.
Yeah. The English language like just refuse English, particularly like a lot of the dialects I'm familiar with, like particularly like American accents and stuff. They just refuse to use the like alveolar trill. They refuse to make the R sound, and so it's like it just doesn't show up.
They don't do ra, they
like,
don't do and they don't do that like ja with the Z and H sound.
Oh yeah, and we can't do a ja, which is weird because it's like we don't even have the proper letters to make the sound. Like
Yeah.
there's so many mouth sound. There's so many mouth sounds that are relatively like easy to do that because we don't have like the letters for it, we end up just not saying, and then we forget our. It's like a secret technique for saying things.
Why? So that's cool, and I'm gonna let you finish. But Mia's eye is her hair, and it's really bothering me.
Well, it's because when you're an artist, you got to decide if the hair goes over the eye or you can see through it. And you know, it's sometimes it works, sometimes it don't.
Yeah.
It's an
This time it don't.
It's an anime thing. Yeah, it just it got a haircut that avoids my eye specifically.
Yeah, right. Excuse me.
It's just cut to that precise shape.
You're lying.
Phoenix, you really should. Oh, I said that. He's only a kid.
Oh, did you? Yeah, don't yell like that. I'm only a kid. Why, you little... Just turns into, like, Homer Simpson. Starts strangling him. Why, you little... I'll teach you to swing swords around.
Then it just cuts to Cody sneaking up on Phoenix in a bathtub or whatever and hitting him with a chair.
He sneaks in
And
and
then it
does
cuts
the,
to Phoenix and he's like, Cody, I don't mean to alarm you.
No, he like sneaks in and he does the 1,000 Years of Death.
Well, that's not the Simpsons though. We were on a roll there.
Yeah, but Cody's a ninja boy, so
Oh yeah.
so he did 1,000 Years of Death.
No, he'd pop out from a clock that looks like the wall.
So do you know anything about what happened here? Could you tell me, please? I don't know nothing. Looks like a little persuasion's necessary. Maybe a bribe? I feel like this isn't entirely legal, but I mean, whatever. I know, he wants an attorney badge.
I don't think that's what he wants. He wants either. You know what? Instead of just the cards, though, I'd be like, how about I give you these cards, and if you're real nice, I'll just give you the prop spear.
Pretty sure that's illegal.
You know, on one hand, I agree with you, and on another hand, you could see it as that the spear is no longer usable and now worth more as a collector's item.
Fair point. Cody, this look familiar? Hey, You are? Huh? Oh, you're... You know, ultra rare. That card's really hard to get. Man, for grown up, you sure are dumb. I'll give you this if you help me. But that's my card! By offering me something I already own, you're in effect eschewing the very basis of our consumer society, namely the principle of fair trade. Wow, this kid's... Those are not lines that I ever expected to come out of a, the samurai fanboy.
Just going back to my spiel where it's like, what you think borders are real, Morty? You think that your body just changes depending on if you're born north or south of the same border?
Well, what do they teach these kids in school these days? Quantum physics? Just cuts to like Gohan hanging out with future Trunks and he's like, yeah, we've been studying theoretical physics, although I guess it's just physics at this point.
And then it cuts to Will Smith and he's like, those books are way too advanced for him.
See, this alien dude over here just looked like he was trying to do some sit-ups, and this alien dude over here looked like he was
not snarling, he's sneezing.
He's not snarling, he's sneezing. This guy over here looked like he was just doing some shopping. And I see little Susie Lou over here with books that are way too advanced for her. I know something's weird with her.
Just walking along in the middle of the night, carrying these like quantum physics books, middle of the road. That's suspicious.
I mean, let's consider the possibility that A, it could have been for like her older sister or something, or B, she's just like super smart.
That's the real thing there, is that it feels like it, as far as like a like it's obviously supposed to be like or up front it's supposed to be a target practice test, but then like was that the secret that that only one person out of the whole group was supposed to understand? Was that like, ah, yes, aliens are dangerous aliens are just hiding as human beings most of the time?
Yeah, I don't know, man. That was weird.
Man, dude, imagine if you remade Men in Black but like modern, where it's just like, oh yeah, we basically make sure that aliens have their various paperwork and they don't bring in any like invasive like species, like, you know, some kind of space rats.
Didn't they make some newer modern Men in Black recently?
Yeah, but I haven't seen it, and I don't know.
I think they did like a Ghostbusters thing where they made the main characters women.
No, it was whatchamacallit? It was what's her name who played Valkyrie, and yeah, I thought the casting was pretty neat. But I don't for some reason I don't remember it coming out, which is very odd. Like,
Maybe
did
it
I just
hasn't come
miss
out
that
yet.
movie? What?
Maybe it hasn't come out yet, I don't know.
Yeah, like either it hasn't come out yet or I just like missed that entire movie's run.
Man, you know what was weird? Was when they
What was
remade
weird?
Ghostbusters, and like, it... The new Ghostbusters was weird because, like, I never saw the new Ghostbusters, but I also never saw any of the old Ghostbusters.
I've only heard myths and legends about each Ghostbusters.
Yeah, so I've never, like,
The
really
most I
been
know
part
about
of...
Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
The
but
most
I've
I know
never
about
really been
Ghostbusters
part
was
of...
the
Okay.
animated series.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, just like I was never part of that fandom, but like as someone who was like outside of it, just kind of watching people on the internet when the new one came out, you know, there are people who are like, the originals were better, and then there were people who were like, oh, if you think the originals are better, then you're not okay with the Ghostbusters being women, which means you're sexist, and it's like, no, that's not how that works. Just watching that whole thing blow up from the outside was like, wow, man, what a show that was.
That was odd. And,
Yeah.
you know, it's weird, I haven't actually seen Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters 2, the new Ghostbusters, or, not to be confused with the TV show, the new Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
or the other cartoons.
I
Which,
think
by the
actually...
way,
I think I actually saw some of the cartoon when I was a kid.
I saw, I forget who was doing the review, but I remember seeing this like a review thing about, and not like a review like, oh, here's something that just came out, but more of like a retrospective, where it was talking about how the Ghostbusters was really wild in that like their episodes would change a lot between like good and bad depending on like what era it was in, because when they were during a certain time, they were under some kind of like weird amount of regulation, and so they weren't they actually like weren't allowed to bring up a lot of the ghosts and stuff. Like they actually like when they mention it, like Ghostbusters actually mentions like the Necronomicon, and no, it's not connected to Ash and the Evil Dead or whatever, but like they got like a desist from management, and it was like, you can't have this. This is a demon book, and it's like it's a fictional demon book though. You know, it's from Lovecraftian lore. And they're like, no, it's a real book, and they're like, what? No, it's not. It's not a real book.
Weird.
It was very, very odd, and so it's kind of like how like during a certain time the Ninja Turtles weren't allowed to like draw their weapons. It's kind of like that.
Oh yeah, that was weird. Whatever, I don't need that card, huh? I got a double. Just keep it, it's yours. What? After I went through all that trouble? If you want to trade, find me a really rare card. Really rare? You mean there's something rarer than ultra rare? Ultra rare premium cards are way rarer than plain ultra rare cards. Come on! Man, for a grown-up, you sure are dumb. Premium rare. Why do I feel like we're talking about steaks?
Delicious, ultra rare premium.
Okay, so I guess I gotta go deal with that now, but you know, we'll do that next time.
On Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z. I'm gonna go brush my teeth and floss, and then probably play more Days Gone. Or maybe not, I don't know.
I'm gonna play some more Lego Batman.
I
The goal
really
of
want to.
unlocking all of the characters.
I really want to play Lego Batman.
No, you don't.
I would love to play Lego Batman.
Alright, we'll catch you next. Listening. I've been Taylor, he's been Blue Jack. Take care.
Okay, stay awesome.
Have a beautiful day.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.